JTF and the Green Berets, because people don't understand the relationship there. The Canadians built the Green Berets, basically. Yeah. The first Special Service Force transformed into the Green Berets. And that was a joint operation of Canada and the U.S.
Yeah, equal part.
Yeah. And but it was the Canadian soldiers that trained this ragtag group of Americans, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
It's going to get people don't realize that Canadians were considered the best of the best way back in both World Wars.
Yes.
And Korea.
Yep.
Just some hard charging folks. Hey everybody. This show is sponsored by shopveteran.ca and the Canadian Legacy Project. Are you a veteran who owns a business? If so, register your business for free on shopveteran.ca. Or, if you would like to support veteran-owned businesses, make shopveteran.ca your first stop shop. Hello, all you beautiful souls. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Operation Tango Romeo, the Trauma Recovery Podcast for veterans, first responders, and their families. Today's a special day because for the first time in this new studio, we have an in-person guest instead of on the video. And as always, we have somebody with a veteran-based charity. So we'll be getting down to the nitty-gritty of what that is and why you do what you do. But welcome. And thanks again, JP, for being here and being part of this.
Thanks for having me. Great to see you.
Great to see you, brother. So we met at a Dallas Alexander concert.
We sure did.
So did you know Dallas when you served at the Hill?
We were there at the same time for a brief period, but we didn't really cross path like on operation or anything like that. We were just there at the same time. And when I heard what happened to him, I wanted to support him with his music. Yeah, I think he's doing good stuff. So that's where whenever he's in town or he's in Alberta nearby, I try to go see him. I think we've seen like 4 times this year, I think.
Yeah. So it's the bro code.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Support
a guy. I like to see guys that are good dudes succeed. And if it means I'm going to go see him in Red Deer or Calgary or Edmonton, so be it.
Isn't it funny how haters just got to hate? One of the comments, the anti-Dallas comments that I saw, I was like, well, he's just looking for attention. Like, he's a country music artist. That's his job.
To get attention.
Yeah. Like, what's he supposed to do? Sing in the shower? Like, this is how he's making a living.
Yep.
It's funny. I think it's just jealousy, like when somebody starts to get a little bit of fame, although I haven't experienced it myself, though. I mean, there's been a little bit, but mostly it's encouragement. But I think that's because of the subject matter that I cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's pretty much people like, hey, good for you, or right on, or they say nothing at all.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky with that. I haven't had many people shitting on me because the show's done well, right?
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that because it's no fun when people are shitting on you. But Dallas catches his fair share of shit in the fan. That's for sure.
Yeah. He sure does. But, at the end of the day, I support him wholeheartedly. I think what he's doing is amazing. And he's very talented. So it's
good music.
It is good music. If you like country music. Some people just don't like country music, and I get it. It's not for everybody. But in terms of country music, he is very talented, and I love supporting him.
Yeah, I enjoy it. He's a good live performer. There's people that are, we were off air talking about my buddy Theo Fleury. Most people just think of him as the hockey player or the political pundit now, but he's also a country music artist.
I didn't know that.
And he's actually good.
Oh.
The recorded version is good.
Yeah.
Live, sorry, buddy. Because he doesn't do it all the time, right? It's just a side gig. If it was a full-time gig, he'd be fine live.
Yeah, because the reps will just, the more reps you do live,
you got to put in the time.
I'm sure Dallas' first show was probably not
great.
What it is today.
Yeah.
Today it's a good show.
It's a good show.
It's very electrifying. Like, he brings some good artists with him at times. I think like the Calgary show for me at Wrenchman was probably the nicest in so many ways. And he brought this guy from Texas, and he was like the picture perfect Texan boy kind of thing. And he was really, really talented too. I don't know if it was the venue as well. Like the energy was awesome. There's so many veterans and Army guys that were there that day. I ran into like a bunch of dudes that didn't know they were in town kind of thing. Like it was fun. That was really, really fun.
There was a lot of Patricias there because Dallas was 3rd Battalion, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it would have been. That's the natural path if you're going to go to the hill.
Yeah, because like snipers, all the recce guys, like it's all 3rd, right?
Yeah. Let's translate for everybody that doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Sure.
So the hill is where the special forces are, just outside of Ottawa. I've never even set foot there. But that's the tier 1 and tier 2 operators. So from CSOR, which is tier 2, and JTF2, which is tier 1.
Yep.
And for those that don't know, tier 1, the equivalent that people might be familiar with, SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, Delta Force.
The rest of the SEALs are tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
But the only tier 1 unit is SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, British SAS.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're broken into tiers.
I'm not sure either.
I think they're just a tier 1 unit.
Yeah.
And when it comes to stolen valor, everybody, if you're British, it's always SAS. And in Canada, they're always snipers. Every one of them.
Yeah.
For some reason, they think being
Weirdly
a sniper
enough.
is cool. It's like, oh man.
It's a tough job to get.
It's a tough job. The course, absolutely brutal. Most of them have recce first.
Yep.
Dallas had his recce as first.
Yes,
he said it was the toughest course he ever took.
Mm-hmm.
Reg Force recce course.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a tough one for sure.
Yeah. We called it the Wreck Me course.
Yeah. It's a pension maker.
Yeah. 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 It's tough. And for the American audience, recce is recon.
Yes.
Reconnaissance.
Yes.
Yeah. We call it recce.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your service. First of all, why'd you join the military in the first place?
Oh, that's funny. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I needed a summer job when I was like 16 after high school kind of thing. I'm from Quebec, so we don't have grade 12. So I graduated at 16 and I needed a summer job, and then all the jobs from McDonald's and stuff like that. It was only for the cool kids. And I was not a cool kid. I was anything but cool when I was in high school. And then I had a buddy of mine, and he was my brother's age, but he was in a sense more brother than my own brother. It was just, life happens sometimes. And he was in the military. He was a reservist with Sherbrooke Hussars in Sherbrooke, where I'm from. And
remind me, when somebody's in Hussars, is that artillery or armored?
Armored.
That's armored. When you're a Hussar.
Yeah, Hussar is armored. Anyways, he was like a role model to me. I looked up to him, and I was like, I want to do what you do. And he was like, at the time, beseech me not to join the military, because for him, it was not a good experience. He was not really good with authority. And I was like, I just need a summer job. I need something. So I joined the reserve, became an infantier because I thought everybody was an infantier. I didn't know there was a trade, to be honest. I didn't look at the pamphlet quite well. So I joined in.
Is that a French reserve regiment?
Yeah. Sherbrooke Fusilier was the infantry regiment we had in Sherbrooke. We had 4 regiments. We had like a medic. We had armored, communication, and then infantry in Sherbrooke. So I joined the infantry because I thought everybody was infantry. And then that was like 1996. And suffice it to say, the infantry was really not for me. I don't do well with cold. And Quebec is very cold. So like,
infantry is the art of being miserable.
Correct. But the regiment shared the military building with reserve comms, and I was a bit of a geek. I like to build computers, radios, and stuff. So I jumped ship in '98, become a comms reservist guy. Originally, I was supposed to go supply because I really liked the supply aspect of things, but then the sergeant major at the time kind of pull a wool over my eyes, like, well, you should probably go do your QL3 RADOP, but that way you know what kind of equipment you're dealing in the supply chain. I was like, oh, that sounds like a reasonable argument. And then, next thing you know, there was no position for supply, and I was comms. I'm like, all right, cool, I can do that. And I did that until 2002, when I got back from Bosnia, which was my first tour as a reservist. My trade was in the red, and they gave me a signing bonus. And he's like, do you want to sign for 3 years? We'll give you 20 grand. I'm like, so you're going to pay me 20 grand you keep doing the job I'm doing right now? It's like, yep. It's like, okay. So by the time I got back from Bosnia, like my paperwork was all in.
What year were you in Bosnia?
2002. Yeah,
Okay.
I was in VK. We kind of like closing the end of that era in a sense. Like I think in 2003 or 4 is when they closed shop completely with VK and whatnot, if I recall correctly.
So
don't quote me on that, but,
at that time, was there a lot of the landmines gone, or was there still landmines absolutely everywhere?
Oh yeah, there's still landmines absolutely everywhere. I think like within like 2 weeks of landing in there, they sent me all the way down to Tomislav to close Tomislav. They just needed like an escort for the bus driver, and I was the escort, so I got to see the whole countryside, and that was impressive. And the guy's been there for a couple of years, so he knew all the nice landmarks and stuff. So
well, it's a beautiful area.
Oh, it's gorgeous, absolutely. My wife and I are like looking at maybe going back to Croatia next summer, just to see it 20 years later with another set of eyes, and just enjoy it for what it is.
That's the side I was on. I was on the Croatian side. So never set foot in Bosnia. The closest I got was Knin, which is pretty close to the border.
Yeah.
And, but I think I'm ready now. It's been more than 30 years for me.
Yeah.
31 years since the war. Because I was there in 94.
Oh, you were there when it was really, really rough.
Yeah.
My tour was pretty simple. I got jacked. All I did was work out, sleep, eat, repeat.
Yeah.
I think I gained like 15 pounds of pure muscle when I was there. I was like, and I got back home. People were like, damn, what'd you do? It's like, just worked out. There's nothing else to do. It's like as a comms guy, it's not like we were going on patrols or anything like that. I was just working a command post. I was working 100 yards from my house, from my bunk. I was eating 50 yards from my bunk. Like everything was so close, and it was simple life. I liked it. I left and I was like,
that's a good tour.
I was bummed when I left. I got home and I had the blues. I was missing the simplicity of being on tour because it was simple. Like people did my laundry, people cooked for me. There's no lineup to go to the gas station or the grocery store. Like life was so simple. All I had to do is
you didn't have to build the camp.
I didn't have to build the camp. Everything was there.
Yeah, we had to build everything.
Yeah, you guys had to do that. And my roommate was super cool. Had a good time with this guy. We ended up doing a couple of trips together, like the RNRs and not the HLTA because I went back.
Where was your leave centers?
I did. If you remember back in the day, like we had like multiple, like we had like 72 hours permissions, and then we had like the 4 days RNR. So I did Graz in Austria, so that was fun. It was like there's a beautiful medieval museum there. It's like the biggest in the world. There's like over like 50,000 pieces of medieval weaponry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's impressive. Very nice. I did that for my first 4 days, and then my second 4 days, my roommate and I decided that it would be a good idea to go and climb Mount Triglav in Slovenia, which is the highest mountains in the Julian Alps. So that was a fun experience.
That's pretty cool.
But it was brutal. I got back from my leave, quote unquote, and there was no rest. It was so brutal. It was like very technical towards the top. And
was Makarska one of the leave centers?
No, I don't remember that.
Makarska is the south of Croatia. So there's Split. Then an hour and a half later, I think it's
Split was
maybe
definitely
a couple
destination
hours
for the guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we just drove through Split, but Makarska was south of Split.
Okay. Yeah. No, I did Graz and Slovenia for that 2 big trip, and then my day trip and whatnot. Like I did Zagreb and then Plitvice Jezera, which is their national park in Croatia.
So what trade were you when you were in Bosnia?
Back then it was RADOP, which became SIGOPS after, like signal operator, radio operator, which was the old trade. And I was a reservist, so I was just happy to be included. Mm-hmm. That's how most reservists feels. So that was my first deployment, but it was a very good experience. I loved every moment of it.
And when did you go to the regs?
So we got back from that tour like in like September, October 2002, I think. And then I went on leave, the disembarkation leave, Christmas, January 3rd, I was back, Reg Force, same troop, same unit.
And a signing bonus.
And a signing bonus. 10 grand for the first year, and then they give you 10 grand on the anniversary at the first year that you're done. Like
did you do anything smart with it, or did you piss it away like everybody else does?
Bit of column A, bit of column B. There was some investments, and then there was also like just paying off debts and stuff like that, like most people do. But also coming back from tours, I didn't have that much debt anyways. Even it's not a tax-free tour, but it's still good money. For a 20-some-year-old boy, that was good stuff. And then, so yeah, Rec Force 2003, and then 2004 is like Afghanistan right away. So we deployed right away to Afghanistan. That was fun. Kabul was kind of dope at the time. It was a real, like, I think a couple of weeks before we rolled in was when we lost this, I forgot the name of a poor guy, but like we were still running Iltises over there, and then it was not really up armored. And
Iltis is the crappy army Jeep that the Canadians have that was way outdated when I was in. Never mind then. Yeah. Made my Bombardier.
Yeah.
Unibody. They're kind of cool looking, actually.
They're fun to drive.
Yeah.
Not in war zone. In Gagetown's great.
Yeah. If you want to lose your legs, drive an Iltis.
Exactly.
Lots of people did, including my buddy Tommy Anderson. It was an Iltis he was in when he lost both his legs.
Yeah. That's pretty brutal like that. And in 2004, we got back from there, and then I put my name in. Put my name in the hat for Special Forces. I went on selection. Did not do well. 2 days I was done. Out of the 7 days, it was brutal. I thought I was in shape. I was not. But then they took me aside and they said to me, "What happened?" I was like, "Well, I don't know. I guess I wasn't ready." He's like, "Okay, well, I mean, you can always come back, but we also need SIGs. Would you consider coming in as a supporter, level 2?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would." He's like, "Okay, go home and we'll give you a call."
Why'd you want to go to the Special Forces?
I don't know. Like, I remember in '98, I was in Kingston on my QL3s, and then I saw this recruiting posters on the wall at the gym, and I was like, "Man, that looks really cool." It was like the black helicopters with the guy like fast roping down. I was like, "This is so cool." And then my sergeant at the time was like, "Oh yeah, these guys are machine. Like, not everybody can do that." And I was like, "I bet I can if I put my head into it." And I don't know, I just wanted it, like, but I guess I didn't want it hard enough because I took the easy deal. I took the level 2 operator thing instead of the supporter. Instead of operator. And my chain of thought was like, you know what? Like, I'm still there with the cool kids. I'm still getting paid more money than my regular guys, and I got to do some cool stuff. Like I explained it to people. It's like I was not the first guy in the door, but eventually I went through that door, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Plus, I got to get my wings there, and then my SOPC, which is like the special ops parachute course. So we did like AO, Halo, like high altitude, low opening.
Okay, so you're free falling.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Oxygen.
How high were you jumping at Halo?
The Halo, so the highest we've done was 17,000 feet. So with oxygen, so that was fun. Usually we would free fall at like 12.5. Is usually it gets you about like a minute.
Yeah, that's usually the roof. You don't need
oxygen.
You don't need O2 up there. Though.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
At 17, she's getting thin.
Oh yeah, and it's cold.
Yeah.
I remember my first jump that high. I was like, "Dear Mother of Lord, why is it so cold? Like, I need to wear all my gear for the next jump because I was freezing."
Yeah, I just jumped again at. Do you know what Op Pegasus is?
Yeah, I was supposed to be there last summer, and then I don't know if you know Chris Dooley.
I know the name.
He has a podcast too, like Fire for Effect, I believe.
I've heard the name of it.
Yeah, so he did. He's very involved with that. So I saw him actually at one of the opening game for the Elks this summer, and he was like, "You got to come next year." I was like, "Yes, let's do this. I promise you, we'll do it." And my wife had like 1 or 2 jump when she was in Australia. She did some tendon stuff. So I'd like to go back. And my buddy Joe Raspo, same thing. Like, he was my roommate when I moved to Edmonton, and he's also airborne. So we kind of figured we could do it as a fun trip. Just hang out there, like rent an Airbnb or something, and then just go do some cool jump with the boys.
Yeah, I drove to the West Coast and jumped with Hot Pegasus, and it was good. But through no fault of of theirs. I mean, it's just because of me, I was away from home too long. And the heat was too much, and my anxiety was through the roof.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And then, and so I told them exactly, look, it's been like 20 years since my last damn jump. But I have 24. I had 24 in the rear view mirror. Most of them free falls, after the first few, because I did both the progressive free fall program and the traditional. All civvy jumps, zero military jumps.
Okay.
And they said, oh yeah, well, we'll just give you the refresher. So I didn't know what that meant. It was like 10 minutes, and so 20 years, a 10-minute refresher. And then
have a good jump.
Yeah. Have a good jump. I'm like, I just trusted them. I just said, okay. Yeah. Right. And I said, just so you know, I have a real problem arching. My brain turns off. I'm great with altitude awareness. Most important thing. Right.
Yeah.
Even had my own, which I forgot there, my altimeter. I freaking forgot it. So up we go, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna go. Yeah, we'll do it after a 10-minute refresher, let's just fricking go. And so I did it. Jump number 25, got it on video. The only one I've ever had videoed.
Nice.
And I was like, flapping in the wind. I was riding the bubble all the way down because I just couldn't look up a little bit and
nice, like belly to earth arch,
get that arch.
Yeah.
My all I knew is that I wasn't stable, and that I couldn't stabilize.
Yeah,
it was weird though. I was never scared. I was just like, fuck. But my brain could not come up with the solution.
Yeah,
it just no. So I just maintained position as best as I could, kept an eye on, and said, well, I guess it's going to be a rough ride all the way down. And I'll just pull when it's time to pull.
Yeah.
And I did. And then I didn't do it right. I didn't bring my left arm up.
Yep.
So I dipped, and I was upside down when I deployed my pilot chute. And I knew, it's like, well, this is going to suck.
Oh yeah.
I was completely aware. Oh yeah. I knew I was upside down. I knew it was going to suck. Didn't care. It was pretty simple. I'm at 4,500 now.
Yeah.
I'm pulling.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And whoomp. Ow.
Ow. Yeah.
Ow.
Ow, indeed.
But and then my brain turned off all the way down. I didn't do because I was instead of me just taking charge and doing what I knew I should do in order to get down and hit the spot. I was waiting for them to talk to me on the radio, and it didn't happen.
Okay. So they put you guys on comms for the jumps?
For that one it was, because it had been so long since my last jump.
Oh, I see.
They said maybe a radio is not a bad idea.
No, yeah.
And then they didn't use it.
Smart.
It's like, get away from the runway. I'm like, oh yeah. And so I did that, but then that was the end of the instruction. He didn't talk me down at all. So I missed the mark. I landed with the wind instead of upwind, and it was windy.
Oh boy.
So I hit hard.
Yeah.
This middle finger is still buggered up. It's not quite working, but, and I gibbled up my spine when I hit. So I hit pretty good, but so because of that, and I felt like, man, I just don't really feel like you looked after me here.
Yeah.
But it was my decision.
Yeah.
And it was my decision. It was my decision to get on the plane.
Yeah.
It was my decision to get out of the plane.
Yeah.
Nobody forced me to do anything. And you put it all together, and I was already kind of having anxiety anyway, like the social anxiety and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I asked 2 people for help because I knew I wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't understand that I was asking them for help. They just didn't do the math. And so they kind of shrugged me off. And then I pulled pole. I dropped camp, packed up, and I fucked off.
Oh.
And I didn't stop until I hit Chilliwack.
Okay. Would you do it again?
Maybe. I just
was it bad enough in an experience that you probably wouldn't do it again, or like?
I thought that because I've been having dreams for years in between the last jump and it's like, oh man, I just got to jump again.
I miss it. I'm not gonna lie, I miss it too. It's been a year.
I didn't get much out of it.
That's too bad.
It's like, okay, I'm plummeting through the air, and there's all these people with thousands of jumps, and I did whatever it is that they feel that keeps them coming back for more. I didn't feel that. I was just like, woo. And like, there was no joy in it. There was, it wasn't fun.
12,000 feet as well, or?
But I don't know. I think it was about 11-ish.
Okay, so like about a minute worth of free fall kind of thing.
45-ish.
45 seconds.
Yeah, 45-ish. Maybe just a touch less.
Hmm.
But yeah, about 45-ish. I'll have to time it next time I look at the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get anything out of it. Like, whatever rush or joy or excitement or fun the other people are feeling,
Yeah,
I didn't feel it.
oh,
And
so you feel cheated a bit.
well, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's
Like,
not cheap, right?
It's not cheap. You know, what's with all this time and money, that, and there's only so many, like, one, it doesn't scare me. Like, I mean, I still had to nut up to hop out the side of that plane, right? I still had to go
against human nature to be like, hey, let's jump out of a perfectly functioning plane.
The only thing that would keep me back is that it's like, is to do it better. You know, don't ride the bubble, get my arch and get a good stable. So I get, but why am I developing the skill? Why am I putting time, energy, and money to develop that skill if it doesn't bring me joy?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Maybe if there was maybe less anxiety associated with it,
that was a
probably would have allowed yourself to feel the rush. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Because like the whole like bubble, like whatnot, like, let's say you want to try it again next year, like maybe just go to high fly and then just master that in the wind tunnel.
That I would do
for like a couple, 5 like a minute in the wind tunnel is considered a jump, quote unquote, at 12.5. So I mean, that's
if I was going to drop another $1,000, that's where I would drop it.
Yeah.
At iFly, right? Yeah. And get it so that I'm really good. When I did the progressive free fall program and I was jumping with instructors, same thing there. My brain would turn off to arch until they went and like, arch is stupid. I'm like, oh yeah,
you big galoot.
Yeah, like it's like I just keep forgetting. But then I did. Then I was stable and I was good. And I did my turns. I did my dive.
Tracking and stuff.
Yeah. I was able to do everything.
Barrel rolls. Did you do like the barrel rolls?
No. The most I did was 360 one direction, thumbs up, altitude check. 360 the other direction, thumbs up, altitude check. And then on another jump was pitch forward, so just bring the hands in, extend the legs a little bit, pitch forward, and that was fun. Like, I remember that. It was 20 plus years ago, but that was fun.
Yeah,
because I could feel the acceleration. It's like, okay, I'm already
start tracking. It's fun.
I'm already at terminal velocity, and I can feel the acceleration.
Yeah,
it's like, what?
I feel like Superman all of a sudden. Like,
oh yeah,
for real.
Oh yeah. But pitching forward, and it wasn't a big pitch. It was probably only like that, but going faster. It felt like I was going down a slide. I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Like, ooh, I'm going fast.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I did my basic para jump with the military, like when I was at the Hill, like my boss at the time, he's like, oh, you want to be airborne? I was like, airborne, you go. Like, no prepare, no nothing. Just literally like airdrop on a course. I was with a bunch of Patricias and other like non-infantry trades and stuff. That was fun. And then later on, like a year later, I think they sent us on our SOPC, which is Special Ops Parachute course. But it was wild because we did an AFF, which is the accelerated free fall course. So it was like no tandem. Like, it's like first jump, you got 2 instructors on each side. Second jump, 1 instructor. Third jump, you're on your own. Let's go. And
wow, that's fast.
That is fast. And that's like within a day.
Yeah.
And then I went from like 7 jump to like, I don't know, 120, 125 jump in like a month and a half.
Well, my concern with that, so my brain wouldn't let me arch, right? Mm-hmm. That was my, but there was another guy when I was doing those jumps, and his brain wouldn't tell him to pull.
That's a problem.
So that's a problem. Like, so what? You don't arch. It's going to be a rough ride. Whoop-de-doo. But if you don't have altitude awareness, and if you don't think, okay, time to pull now, like if you don't got
and
that,
do you guys jump with Zephyr, like that device that pulls for you if you don't pull?
Yeah. So I mean, you got. I mean, I'd hate to test it.
Yeah. I wouldn't test it either. But at least there's a a safety net, quote unquote.
Yeah. So we're talking about the AAD, the automatic opening device. It's you can set it at different heights. The student height is like 3,500 feet, and then if you get better, you set it lower.
Yeah, 2,000 or 2,500 or whatever.
Yeah, and it said if something goes stupid, or you get knocked out, or you pass out, or whatever the case may be, it's just going to open.
Yeah, you're not going to die. You're still going to break bones, but at least you're not going to die.
Yeah.
If you're ragdolling it, like, it's not be good.
Well, you're not going to die if it deploys properly.
Yeah, track. Like,
and
be a malfunction, and
then you're fucked. Yeah.
Game over, son.
Yeah. Splat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a very, very fun course, but it was like, I think
have you ever done any civvy jumps?
No. I mean, the AFF was done at Pears Valley, so it's like a civvy.
So how many jumps you at then? Military jumps?
Yeah, total, I think between like 120-ish.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. We had a lot of work to do. Like, we wanted to get good at, we had to get good at jumping together as a squad, and then you have to be able to kind of land together so that when you hit the ground, you're able to fight. That was the whole point. So we spend a lot of time just doing canopy control and figuring out how much hair do you bleed versus me. Will dictate where you're at on the stick when you jump.
You know what I would do? I've never done a static line, and that would be fun. Just to do a few. There's the occasional group that they set it aside for veterans. I can't remember the names of them, but I know a guy that does it.
Okay.
And he's jumped a couple of times. He's a reserve, or not even reservist. He was a cadet officer.
Oh.
And he's doing these static line jumps.
Nice.
It's like, attaboy. But that'd be fun just to have that experience.
I mean, a lot of our jump was static jump as well.
Yeah.
We did the AFF and whatnot, and that was just because certain aspect of the job that required that. But after that, most of our jump, like out of the ERCs, and it was all like static line as well. Even at high altitude, it was kind of nice. I liked it. It was. I miss it. Like I said, I would want to try next summer to line up my, depending what's happening with us next summer. Like if we're going on a trip somewhere or whatnot, as long as it lands properly. My wife's a teacher, so like in the summer we usually just travel. I'm retired now, so I don't work in the summer because my wife doesn't work, and we just do camping or we go on big trips. Last year was Portugal. Last summer we didn't do much, but we did we're doing 2 trips to Mexico.
Nice.
We change it up like that.
What did you think of Portugal? I went there when my oldest was 3 months old. It was in Portugal for a couple of weeks. It was beautiful.
How long ago was that?
It was 2006.
Okay, so like almost 20 years ago. I loved it. If it wasn't for my wife, I think I would have moved there by now. It's so cheap.
A friend of mine did move there to the Algarve.
Yeah, buddy of mine, same thing. He moved there 2 years ago now, and we've compared notes, and my pension would go a long way over there. Like, my wife wouldn't have to work. We can live off my pension alone over there. It's really cheap. Just to give you an idea, like, he bought the house across the street from where he is. He's from, he lives in a small town called Coimbra. It's kind of very central. Maybe like an hour and a half or so from Porto. And he has a nice house on like 2 or 3 acres of land. He paid, I don't know, 225,000 euros for that, which is kind of cheap for an acreage, if you think about it. But the house across the street.
That's under $500,000.
Yeah. The house across the street was an old lady, and she passed, and the kids didn't want to do anything. We didn't want to do anything with the house. They don't care. So my buddy Brendan's like, I'll give you 90 grand for it. And they're like, done. That house is on a half acre of land for 90,000 euros. That's like 150 grand.
Wow.
And then
that's what this place is. We're on a half acre by the lake.
Yeah. That's beautiful property, by the way.
Thank you.
So yeah, super cheap over there. Like, we talked about like property taxes. I was like, oh my God, my city taxes went up $50 a month. Now I'm like $5,500 a year for my taxes in Edmonton. This is disgusting. He's like, what's your property tax in Portugal? He's like, well, for my 3 properties, because the 2 acre land, it's considered 2 lots, I pay $385. It's like a month? No, that's for the year.
Oh,
it's like,
my God.
Get bent. Are you serious? It's like, how about healthcare? He's like, oh, that's cheap. He's like, well, how cheap? He's like, well, I'll give you an example. Like, my mother-in-law was in town a couple weeks ago, and then we were doing renos, and then she smashed her finger pretty hard, And then so she needed like a X-ray, a little bit of stitching, and like painkillers. That was 200 euros, and she was that, and including a follow-up. And she was seen like within an hour.
Oh man!
So
when we were
at least it's vastly superior than we have now.
About 5 years ago, we went to Bora Bora.
Oh, that's a treat!
Just outside of, well, it was different. It was really neat. But this super tiny island, and Tahiti's pretty tiny, but Bora Bora is extra tiny, and like it's we rented a car so we could see the whole, but you don't, a bicycle probably would have sufficed. In the car doing no more than 20-30 kilometers an hour, because that's all you can do. You can circumnavigate the entire shoreline. And it's really the only road that there is. There's a couple of internal roads, but
they're all dirt roads and stuff.
but it's a wild shoreline, so zigging and zagging. It's 35 minutes to do a lap around the entire island.
Oh, it's tiny.
It's tiny.
Because I did Fiji, and Fiji, same thing. We drove around the island as well. We kind of landed on the main city is on the west coast of that island. And then we drove all around and stopped at a different spot around it. And I mean, that was interesting too. But it's bigger. It wouldn't take us 35 minutes to do the round. Fiji's quite more bigger than Bora Bora for sure.
Bora Bora is smaller than this lake that we're beside here.
Okay, yeah.
Like this lake is bigger than Bora Bora.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's pretty crazy.
And there's people that live there.
Yeah. Well, what had me thinking about it is the property tax, because there is none. So what that means is that you actually own it outright.
Oh.
So you buy a property in Bora Bora, and I don't know, I'd have to AI Google search or something, like where else doesn't have property tax, because that would be the top of the list.
Yeah.
If you pay property tax, you actually don't own the property. Like in Canada, like when you buy a property, if you actually look at your title, it says it's a freehold title. It's right in the name. You are free to hold it. You don't fucking own it.
Yep. Stop paying your taxes and
you'll find out that that's true
really fast, that it's not yours.
Yeah. You have the rights of ownership, but you don't actually have ownership.
Yep.
To have actual ownership, it's called a loyal title, and that's a royal title. There's a few properties in the country that are grandfathered in with a loyal title. There's some in Saskatchewan, there's some in Newfoundland that are still a loyal title, but you can't ever sell it. If you ever sell it, it'll revert to freehold.
Oh.
That anything with a loyal title, you do not pay property tax.
Must be nice.
Well, there's got to be some fancy lawyer somewhere that can figure out how you can transfer your title to a loyal, but I've never heard of it being done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know who can do it.
Yeah. I don't know either.
But so Afghanistan, you were there a couple times.
6. Yeah. It's
6 tours.
Yeah. About 4 years in Afghanistan total. Because, like I did my first tour in 2004, and then in 2005, I got posted to the Hill. And then that very November, I was out the door, and then I was in Afghanistan pretty much 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 12, 13, 16, 17. So
almost enough to get your citizenship.
That was the kind of running joke when they started looking at my points, like, you've never been to Germany and you have that many points? Like, how? I was like, well, what do
you mean by points?
The operational deployment points, like the foreign premium service point, whatever. Like, so every month you spend overseas. Yeah, every month you spend overseas, you have that extra payment that you get every month. So 0 to 6, you're in a specific bracket, and then 7 to 12, it's another bracket, and it's all a percentage based on your danger pay, austerity, and then something else. So it was called like foreign premium service.
Was there still danger pay when you were in Bosnia?
A little bit. Like, it was pretty low though. It was like the bare minimum.
Oh yeah, we had it. I don't know what level it was at.
Yeah. So for every month you spent out of country, it gets you a point technically. But the people that went to Germany, they racked up like hundreds of points. If you were there for like a couple of years, like, it's easy to go 40, 50, 60 points if you spend 3 years or 4 years in Germany, right? Because it's 12 points a year times 4. Well, that's 48 points right there. And then it affects your premiums.
So 6 tours in Afghanistan, is that still one medal with like a 6 bar on it?
No, I was on two different so I have the campaign star and I have the Swazm.
So tell me the difference between the two.
I think it was just the name of the operations, really, under like which umbrella you served under.
Yeah, that's what they did in the Balkans too. Like there's the ones, the first ones that were there.
Yeah.
That's the one I have. It was a peacekeeping medal.
Yes.
And then they swapped it. Okay, we're not UN anymore. Now it's NATO.
Yeah.
And then there was a NATO medal, which I don't have.
I4 and then the S4.
Yeah.
Right. So, and these two were different as well. So I got S4 because we were there as a stabilization forces in Bosnia, right? So I had that one plus a peacekeeping one. And then the first tour of the GWAT, I guess, like the Global War on Terror that we were part of, was the campaign star. But then I got the campaign star on my first tour. But then when I started doing stuff with the Hill, because it was mostly under the Enduring Freedom, American flags, if you like, with the special ops, then I got the Swazm, which is the Southwest Asia Service Medal, right? And then got bars on both sides kind of thing, like one side 3 bars or the other side 2 bars. And I think I'm a couple days shy of on both sides to get the other bar kind of thing. So, I mean, that's all there is. There's only 2 medals for Afghanistan, really.
I got a stolen valor story for you.
Oh.
So there was at the Museum of the Regiments in Calgary.
Okay.
If anybody hasn't been, go check
nice.
it out. It's something.
Yeah.
But at the Museum of the Regiments in Calgary, there was a Special Forces reunion where JTF and the Green Berets, because people don't understand the relationship there. The Canadians built the Green Berets, basically.
Yeah.
The first Special Service Force transformed into the Green Berets. And that was a joint operation of Canada and the U.S.
Yeah, equal part.
Yeah. And but it was the Canadian soldiers that trained this ragtag group of Americans, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
People don't realize that Canadians were considered the best of the best way back in both world wars.
Yes.
And Korea.
Yep.
Just some hard charging folks. So I'm at this event and I've got my medals on, and my son was a cadet at the time, and so he was part of the colors parade and
nice.
and whatnot. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And there's this older guy there, and kind of brash and loud and
obnoxious,
and initially got on my radar just from his behavior and the way he walked, like huffing around, and like he's some big guy, and he was from the Okotoks Legion. And as I'm walking through the museum, I hear him talking to somebody else, and bragging in a way that none of us ever do, ever.
That's a red flag right there.
Oh yeah. Like it was the tone. It just didn't sit right. Yeah. And he would really talk about his Southwest Asia medal, and which didn't make sense to me because he was in his 70s, right? And I'm like, that, and he was Navy. So I'm really having trouble. I'm having trouble understanding the math on this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but then there was a bunch of JTF guys there, right? And who all knew Devin Larratt, of course.
Yeah,
now, of course. For the audience, Devin Larratt is the world's most famous arm wrestler. He's a multiple world champion in multiple weight classes all at the same time. And he's the most famous arm wrestler in the world. And he was a JTF breacher, tier 1 breacher. So door blowing upper guy.
Yeah.
And super nice fella, 6'5",
a monster of a man,
absolute monster of a man, freaking terrifying. And super nice and very nice family. I got to meet his boys in Ottawa.
Yep.
Very nice kids. But so we're sitting for lunch, and we're talking Devin Larratt stories, and we're smiling and laughing, and because those guys that I was sitting with, they didn't know just how famous he was or just how big a deal he is in the arm wrestling community. So we're talking about this. And then we got interrupted by loud, obnoxious, brash Navy guy, so-called, maybe. And with four, maybe 5 gongs on him. And says, rah, 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 rah. And I told, because I'm a Patricia, so I told a very vanilla RCR joke, just very mild, and obviously in good nature, and I don't mean it. And we're all brothers. And this freaking guy took that ball, those and start shitting on the Royals, which makes no sense because like you're a Navy guy.
Yeah.
So
you have no dog in that race.
No, you got no skin in this game. Like, why would you go off about the Royals? Like, no, because none of us, like, no Patricia. It's our cute little rivalry, right?
It's all cute.
Yeah,
Bandus, same thing.
Yeah, like
it's just like
we don't actually have a problem with the Royals. Okay, like not in real life.
No.
Royals might have a problem with us a little bit, but that's just jealousy. That's okay. They're allowed. But he goes off and then just totally shits on, like, just wrecks the mood. Like, we were in such a good mood, having a nice chat, and
he took it to heart too much.
Oh God, it was just terrible. And everybody's like, "Ooh, okay, awkward, uncomfortable." And then one of the operators, so here's the best of the best, tier 1 operators, and this guy's doing a tough guy routine, and it's like, do you know who's at this table, dude? Like, your situational awareness is the shits. These are the most lethal people on the planet, and you're talking tough. And so one guy tries to soften up the mood, and he says to him, because he had an unusual rack of medals, it was, and I was wondering too, like, what's that for? But I didn't bother asking. And she says, "What's that for?" He says, "I can't tell you." Now, JP, have you ever heard of a secret medal that you can't tell anybody what it's for?
No.
But I think that's all anybody needed to know. And the JTF guy is so good, right? Because he's got nothing to prove. He's the world's most lethal.
I've already proven what I can do. Like, I'm at the top of the food chain.
Top of the food chain globally. The tier 1 operator's got 0 to prove. Nope. So here's a legit freaking combat veteran, and he just went, I understand. And just, but it was such a good conversation, and just got shat on by Dr. Stolen Valor. And then I didn't chase it down. I didn't go to the Okotoks Legion and go, who the fuck is this guy? Like, maybe run his name through the system or something, because he's full of shit. I can't tell you about my medal. It's a secret medal. It's like, fuck off.
No such thing.
There's no such thing.
I mean, I've seen, like, there's places I've been that I should have gotten a medal that I didn't because we're not there. That's different.
Yeah.
Right? We're not there, quote unquote.
Yeah, there's no medal. If you're a Black Ops guy.
Yeah.
It's funny. American guy that I ran into. Oh, I was Black Ops. Okay, that's
like
not
the video game.
That's not a unit.
No.
That's a type of operation.
Yeah.
Even on our peacekeeping tour, there was one patrol that we did that was a Black Op.
Yeah.
And like, by definition, it just meant it was off the books. We were doing it, probably shouldn't have been. And all it was a patrol. Like, it was nothing high speed, low drag.
Yeah.
It was a fucking terrifying patrol, because it was 2-man patrols behind the lines, in around the Serb commander's house. And they had these irrigation ditches, they were fighting trenches that they called irrigation ditches, but they weren't allowed. It was supposed to be a DMZ.
Yeah.
So
no military, like, hard points or infrastructures and whatnot.
Yeah. So but that's how they got around it. And we just kind of said, okay. But when they had comms lines in your irrigation ditch, air quotes, we would snip them. So they'd get pissed off, but it's all soft pack, right? There's no hard pack.
Mm-hmm.
So we're worried about getting our legs blown off when we do these patrols. So our buttholes were puckered tight because of that. And they were 2-person patrols that should have been at minimum section patrols.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like this is a section patrol all day long and twice on Tuesday
Yeah.
because like they are all armed to the teeth, shouldn't be, but are. And it's a testy situation. So 2-man patrols that should be a section patrol, 3:00 in the morning on soft pack in the backyard of people that are pissed off at us.
Yep.
In the most heavily landmined spot in the world. So it sucked.
Yeah.
Right. And they were kind of harassment patrols is what they were.
Yeah.
Just to say,
disrupting their comms and stuff.
Yeah. Like we're here. But those were black.
Mm-hmm.
So they were off the books. They were outside of the UN mandates. And we just thought it was a good idea. So we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so technically that was a black op. But that is not a unit.
It's not a job description. You don't do black ops all the time. Like, I mean, maybe some people do, like, but they won't talk about it.
No. And there's no such thing as a secret medal. But like you said, there is such a thing as an op that you should have got a medal, but you don't.
Yeah.
Because you weren't there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happened, and then that's just it's funny. It happened to me. Like I was because after when I left the Hill in 2009. After like almost 5 years with them, I needed the break. The tempo was stupid. Like I said, I've done so many tours with them. So I asked to go to the school, and I went to Saint Jean for a couple of years, and I loved Saint Jean. Saint Jean was by far the best posting in my career. Very rewarding job, to grab a kid at the airport and then bring them 13 weeks later, graduating them, and then maybe later on in your career running into them. And
so that was basic training, right? Basic training, Saint Jean.
Yep, Saint Jean. And I loved every moment of it. I did 2 years platoons, just regular trooper loop stuff.
Were you wearing the tan beret?
Not anymore. No, I was not allowed.
Oh, that would have been so cool if you were wearing the tan beret at recruit school.
My first platoon, though, like
you would have been worshipped like a god.
Yeah, probably. But my first platoon, you get the official photos for the students, their graduation, and then the instructor gets their photos too. And then I asked them if I could do one with my tan beret, so I can send that to my mom, kind of thing, and she could frame it and put it at the house. So I did that, but I couldn't wear my beret around. It was unfortunate. And I did 1 year weapons, and that was.
And that's just because all the reg guys were jealous that you.
Well, I was not part of them anymore, so you don't get to wear the tan anymore. It's in my shadow box. It looks pretty good. That's about it. this water under the bridge now.
Yeah, that's the cool factor. And again, to translate for the audience, the tan beret is the Kansofcom beret.
Yeah, which was kind of, it was brought in like later on, like maybe 2006 or 7, I think, after the Kansof was
did I say that right? The overall, like the umbrella is Kansofcom?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And under that, there's like JTF2, CSOR, CGIRU, and
what's that?
CGIRU is like biological nuclear warfare stuff, like the scientists, like the guys that does drug labs and stuff like that. So it's pretty high speed, kind of cool. These guys are mini scientists, for lack of better terms. And then the TAC helicopters as well, like that is in Petawawa, is under the umbrella as well. That has the Chinooks and high speed platforms. So
yeah,
that's kind of fun too. But yeah, so that's what it is. And they have their own badge now, like the command badge, which is like the red diamond with a dagger in the middle, which is kind of nice too. So I think that was stood up in Kansofcom stood up in 06, I think, or 07. And that's when the whole thing started. And then we got our beret. It was a big parade to get our new beret, and we ditched the old one for the new one. That's kind of nice. Like, it's really, I miss the new uniform though. Like I wasn't there when they stood up with the new, like, because Kansofcom has like a different DEU now.
Yeah. It's
like, it looks like really much like the British brown from back in the day.
Yeah, and one hat I got up there is the multicam.
Yeah,
it actually works.
Yeah, it does. Multicam is it's a good idea, but I didn't get that new DU. Like by the time I left, that new DU was not a thing. It came,
and now they got a new multicam again.
Yeah,
but it looks like a pretty good one.
Yeah, it does. It does. Looks really good actually.
Yeah, it looks sharp.
Yeah,
and hopefully effective.
Yeah, hopefully effective. I mean, like I saw some comparable like different uniforms up in the field kind of thing, and you can barely see them. It's pretty good.
Well, our old Vietnam era olive drabs, there's nothing wrong with them. Like it works in most environments. Like
Yeah.
it's cause just all the natural shadows, that's what breaks you up.
Yep.
And, but better to have the multicam for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Plus
Yeah.
it looks cooler.
It does. It does for sure.
Yeah. You got the look cool factor. You're listening to Operation Tango Romeo, the trauma recovery podcast for veterans, first responders, and their families. Help support veterans by sharing the show. Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. Share like the sugar bear, because sharing is caring. Thank you.